Yes. I'm doing right. No, no,
Okay,
and then, yeah.
are we okay to start? Move forward?
Aloha. Welcome to the July Kaneohe Neighborhood Board. You can move the base off of that and give me a little bit more treble. We are called to order. Aloha. Welcome to this room. First order of business is filling vacancies on the board. And we have 4 vacancies. Crown Terrace, Keapuka, section subdistrict 9. 13 is Kokokahi. 14 Yacht Club Terrace. Is there anyone online or here that is interested in serving on the board? Okay, hearing none. I have a question, Chelsea. There was an election. Are the new board members supposed to be here today? Was there board elections? No. So the next board election is next cycle, next year. Okay, thanks. Sorry, I'm just a little bit ahead of myself. Seeing that there's no openings on the board, I also want to mention that the last meeting we voted to bring to the neighborhood commission our recommendations. And I believe we have those recommendations. I'm not sure, it's not really on the agenda, but I think we can cover this in our board business as to filling, these 4 have been open for more than what we're asking. So we're saying is if there's an opening of more than 2 cycles, 2 months, then we will be able to open that to an at-large seat and fill it with someone who's interested in serving on the board, even if they're not from that sub-district. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Next is the city, state, community reports. Honolulu Fire Department. Next up, Honolulu Police Department. Well, it might be a hard place to find physically, but it shouldn't be a hard place to find online. And we do have an online option. Okay, that's being said, great time. We'll go with Marine Corps Base Hawaii. We also have the new base commander, Steve DePrentice, is also here. Hey, welcome.
Hi, good evening, Chair, members of the community and the board. I'm happy to introduce our new base CO, Stephen DeTrinis, and our Sergeant Major, Don Morano.
Hi, everybody. As she said, I'm Steve DeTrinis, new to the job at Marine Corps Base Hawaii, but not new to Hawaii. Margaret, my wife, and I moved here with 7 of our 8 children in summer of 23. We had 8th in the fall of 23. Worked at Paycom for 2 years and then MAR4 PAC for a year, so up at Camp Smith. We've been tenants on Marine Corps Base Hawaii for all 3 of those years. Have 1 child who graduated from Damien. She's a Navy nurse student, ROTC, about to jump on ship for her summer cruise here at RIMPAC. 2 boys that are still at Damien, senior, sophomore, freshman at Kailua, and then some little ones that are homeschooled and surf a lot. So just want to briefly talk about kind of our approach. The way I view Marine Corps Base Hawaii, we have a few no-fail missions. One of them is to project power and build readiness for our combat forces. I'm not sure if you knew or not, but we did have quite a few formations downrange, we would call it, in Diego Garcia and other places. So some of those one-way attack drones, our Marines were fighting those not too long ago. And about 15 years ago, we never would have thought Diego Garcia would have been hit. So that kind of shapes the way we look at the world. The second one is to protect and defend. So protect our people and our infrastructure and defend. The number one task in the national defense strategy is defend the homeland. And we are the military, the DoD forces, DOR forces on the windward side. That's a task we take very seriously, and we got some work to do in that regard. And then the third one is to integrate with our joint and local partners. That goes to things like this and the regatta we just had, and many other events throughout the year, to include our biannual air show, which is back on a biannual basis. Over 500,000 people, largest event in Hawaii, as you all know. So that's kind of three of the main things we will do. You could call them lines of operation. We also have a couple lines of effort. One is information, like to do things like this, communicate clearly the truth, help our tenant units, to include Indo-PACOM and MAR4PAC, very senior staffs, connect to the people on the windward side and Halava mostly. And then make Marine Corps Base Hawaii a destination choice. You know, we have some experience living overseas and off the continental United States. Marine Corps Base Hawaii should be a duty station of choice, and it should be a life-changing experience for our tenants and their families. Not sure we're there right now with that community feel, but we will get there. So that's my spiel right now. Look forward to taking any of your questions and joining the team.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for coming. We do have a military liaison committee. The chair is me, and Donald Sakamoto is also on that. We would like to set up a time to come visit with you and Sergeant Major and just share what we know and maybe help whatever your processes might be.
Yes, Chair and Sir, we look forward to that.
Mahalo. Any questions for Marine Corps Base Hawaii? Sakamoto.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Colonel. Donald Sakamoto, longtime Marine Corps Community Services employee for the exchange, 21 years, retired. I welcome you aboard. My question to you, as a retired MCCS employee, NAFI, I brought this several years back. I couldn't get a pass on base because of the restriction after 9/11. So I only can get a DebGeek card or whatever and sponsor one person, but I can't sponsor more than one because I'm legally blind. And I want to know if there could be any regulations to change that for me and others who are in that category.
Sir, I'm not tracking to that regulation, but I will definitely look into it and see where the approval is
Right.
and the waiver authority. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, I appreciate what you can do, but hoorah, and thank you for coming on board.
Any other questions? Mahalo, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I do have a couple of things that I wanted to share, some upcoming things that the community should be aware of. There will be some cannon salutes that occur March 10th and 11th from 8 to 12. I'm sorry, August. What did I say? Why did I say March? Thank you. Yes, August. I'm about ready to get on a plane. So from 8 to 12, August 10th and 11th. I can hear it from our location, so I'm sure most of our Kaneohe residents will be able to hear it. So just wanted to let you know that that's occurring. RIMPAC should be wrapping up at the first week of August. And if you folks are wanting to share any information about the air noise, that noise line is available to you folks. And if you are unaware of that, then please reach out and I will give that information to you because we do want to have that data. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Mahalo. Next up is Windward Community College, followed by Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Castle High School. Wow. That's fantastic. Hi.
Hi, sorry. I'm Jersey Livingston from Castle. Sorry. On July 31st, we're gonna have our 75th anniversary Diamond Jubilee. from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's open up to the public. We're gonna have food vendors, live performances, and a bunch of our clubs and councils will also be having booths. On July 25th, we're going to be having a high five for our 2029 council, my council, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that's it. Thank you.
I have a question for you. Thank you for that information. What's your favorite thing about Kaneohe?
I guess the community, I would say. I like being able to come out to all these and meeting all these new people that I've just never seen before or probably would have never gotten the chance to meet.
If you had the power to fix one thing in our Moku, what would it be?
That's a hard one, sorry.
Okay. Give it some thought, and hopefully we'll see you next month. And give us something for the board that we can work on to improve.
Okay.
Thank you. Good job. Yes.
Thank you. Can I ask a question? This is Donald Stockman, longtime alumnus of Castle High School, 1980 grad. When I was going there, the cafeteria food was adequate enough back then. How is it now for you folks? Yeah.
It's kind of like 50-50. I would say some of it's good, some of it's not that good.
Uh,
Some
and-
of the portions are not that big.
Yeah.
or small.
Okay. So how much does it cost nowadays? Would you say $2 or something?
I think the kids are 250 or 275.
Uh-huh.
And then the adults are like 7 something.
So,
But they just did, I think they've been working through the legislature. They're gonna do like free lunches.
free lunches.
Yeah.
I used to work in the cafeteria as a volunteer, so I used to get good stuff afterwards.
Oh.
But
They don't have, like back then, we used to have choices, like you could go to the chili line or, and then,
Pizza.
yeah, right? They had the standards and then a regular, now they have one thing.
one thing,
There's just one line, one choice.
yeah. And then how's the transportation for the school buses? How's that doing?
High school will still not have
Oh,
unless it's the special ed.
especially
Their special education has their buses, but for general population, it's still not school bus, but the city has done that holo card.
right.
So it's express, I think.
Uh-huh.
No, express card, they call it.
Uh-huh.
You have to go online and register for it. But the criteria to qualify for it is you have to be at your home school.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to live more than 1.5 miles away from the school.
Wow.
So all the kids who are close to it can't qualify for it. Or if they're attending like Castle on a GE,
Uh-huh.
they can't get that one. They have to buy a regular polo card or a
Okay.
regular.
Okay, appreciate the update.
Sure.
Thank you. And we're so happy to have Castle High School come to the board. So thank you very much.
Jersey would appreciate any high fives. Bring it down on the 25th.
25th of July,
Yes.
75th anniversary.
75th is on the 31st. And so that's like a whole fair. And then what Jersey was saying is every fourth Saturday of the month, we do a high five drive.
Got it.
And we take it down to the recycling center and all the profits from it goes back to the class that's running it that month. And then they use that funds to go for graduation. And so if they have enough, they even subsidize, like say a DJ or something for prom to make costs down.
Cool.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you. I see HPD and Windward Community College. HPD, you want to make a brief?
Hi, good evening, Chair, board members, community members. My apologies for being late. Our chief is currently meeting with our district personnel and it's hard to be in 2 places at once. I have some numbers for you if you're ready. Okay, so technology here. For the month of June, our motor vehicle thefts was 4. Previous month was 1. Burglaries was 1 in June, previous month of 2. Theft in general, there was 9 thefts. Previous month was 13. UAVs, which stands for unauthorized entry into a motor vehicle. So if you left your vehicle unlocked or had possessions in there or whatnot, that's what that stands for. So that was 4, and it remained consistent at 4. Robberies, this month in June, was 0, with the previous month of 1. So a little bit of a decrease, an increase in some things. I do have a chance to review those statistics every month. I can reassure each and every one of you at the table here, and along with the community members, that our officers are out there. They're working hard. They are staying on top of the offenders. We're catching people as we can, and they're very present and engaged. Any questions for me?
Any questions for HPD? Laura?
Okay, hit me with them. Let's go.
Have you seen any improvement since you issued this?
Oh, yeah. So I believe what's in your hand right now is the fatalities,
Mhm.
the criticals and fatalities. And I can tell you, in comparison to where we were last year, don't have the number on hand, but it was in the double digits. We are in single digits, and if you'd like, I could follow up with you with the specifics. But we're huge decrease, and that's thanks to the men and women of District 4. They're out there engaging with the community, addressing things like distracted driving, speeding, pedestrians in the roadway, maybe outside the crosswalk, stuff like that. Cell phone is a big one for them also. So our daily, we're trying to change driving behaviors, and so far we've had a really positive effect.
Great, thank
Yeah.
you very
It's
much.
a great question. Thank you for it.
Okay.
Thank you, Captain Cam. Donald Sakamoto. I was able to talk to the chief this morning. Rick Amato Show called the chief, and I mentioned District 4. Wonderful job you folks do. Big territory, 136 miles, and he said yes, they have a lot of. I commended you folks for doing a wonderful job with what you have, and I invited him to come to our neighbor board. You have 36, and he said yes, he would love to come. So I'm gonna give him an invitation to come and read us over here. And
That'd
talk
be
to us.
super if he can make it,
Yeah.
meet you guys. Very charismatic, easy to talk to, an individual that really seems to care about our community. So, you know, it would be a huge opportunity for you, and I think you would walk away not disappointed.
Yeah, and he's a big 49er fan.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
So,
Thanks
Chair, I
very,
had a
thanks
question.
very much. Oh, you have another?
Yeah. So,
Adriel Lamb.
just something, Adriel Lamb, yeah, Sub-District 11. I had made an observation, right, maybe it's during summer, noticed a lot of out-of-state plates, you know, maybe it's just a summer transition, but some of them seem to have like outdated registrations or no registrations at all. So I don't know if you're seeing a trend of something. I don't know if there's people bringing in vehicles that just aren't properly registered.
I would love to be able to answer that to you right now. I also see them as I commute around the island and in my district here. I can give you the numbers of any type of enforcement we do, but like you, I do believe it's seasonal when military personnel come in on orders. They do have a period of time to get their vehicles updated with Hawaii plates or to get the exemption to keep their own state plates. It's a great question, and if you could be a little bit patient, I can run those numbers for you tomorrow and get back to your chairman.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Chairman,
Dale.
Dale Carstensen, thank you again for your comments on that. The question I have is the number of cars that are on the roads that do not have active safety or active registration. Is there any thought given to having a part of Honolulu Police Department that would be able to go and just take a photo of these cars that are basically out of registration or out of safety inspection? I know we're always looking for revenue for the city and county, and there's a lot of money out there to be found.
Oh, so I certainly think that's a great, thank you for the idea. I don't know if it's ever been pursued, but that's maybe an option that we could look at. I am well aware that in our district, because that's what's important to me, right? What we do here is we give plenty of citations for the expired safety, the expired registrations. And as a matter of fact, I was just answering, last week I answered a community member in Waimanalo that specific thing, and he was looking at what was happening in his community. And when we ran the numbers, it was really amazing just how often something like that does get addressed by an officer. Through a warning or a citation or how they see fit, you know. But yeah, I'll take that recommendation. I'll try to move it forward for you. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Anybody in the audience here? Give me now because I'm out the door. I got to get back over there.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a nice evening.
You too. Windward Community College. Hi, Artis.
Hello, my Kako. New location. So for a little while anyway. Auto renovation is actually going really fast. It's predicted to take less than a year, which is great which maybe isn't great because I put in the betting pool. I was thinking 7 to 10 years. So anyway, there's no betting pool at Windward. I lied. So right now we're in the heat of registration season. So this is really the time if you have a student at home or if you're interested in becoming a student, it's time to get your application in while they're still open and registered. I wanted to share a little bit about for our freshmen, what career pathways we have opened up. So for our freshmen coming in, Windward is known as a general transfer, but we've really concentrated on making specific career pathways for our students. So you can come in and have a set schedule for you if you're in like helping professions, psychology, mental health, social sciences, sociology. If you are a health pre-professional, we have actually that cohort's filled up, so too late. But no, we're trying to open one more. That'll get you through anatomy, physiology, the correct math and English, as well as a support class. We have one for psychology as well. A Hawaiian studies pathway. And new this year, we're doing a skilled trades pathway. So while we don't offer many of the skilled trades, that's through Honolulu Community College, we know a lot of our students on this side are very interested, but making the jump across the mountains without necessarily knowing which trade you want, it can be daunting. So we will have a skilled trades intro to careers pathway where they'd like to explore different trades. We'll have trade specialists come in, talk about where you can go for the training or certification. It'll be coupled with the appropriate construction math class if you're moving on in the trades that you'll need, and the English class you'll need as well. So while they'll be here and not in a specific trade, they'll be advancing both their knowledge and their discernment of the correct trade to go into and their pathway too. So that's really exciting. And if they're right out of high school, just graduated this year, our Ho'ole scholarship is available, which provides for if no one from this side of the island who just graduated from high school should have tuition debt their first year. So if financial aid doesn't cover your tuition, Ho'ole, thank you to the Harold K.L. Castle Foundation, comes in and provides for your tuition. So none of our graduating seniors need to pay for that first year of college. And just this year, we have started, for those who had Ho'ole last year as freshmen, we don't want them to have debt this second year, and we be able to come up with enough funding internally, provide a second year Ho'ole scholarship. So they'll have gotten through their associate's degree, if they were speeding, got it done in 2, without any tuition debt. So that's what I wanted to share tonight. If you have relatives, I really invite you to have them apply if they need to. Our counselors are available every single day, and we're excited to provide for the needs of this side of the island.
That's just fabulous. Questions for Windward Community
Oh,
College?
and I brought you some numbers
Oh.
because everyone else always does the numbers. So I'm like, I should bring the numbers. So I should bring my glasses too. Notably, since of Ho'ole, which we've been doing since about 2022 in slightly different forms, we've been kind of piloting it, testing it, and scaling it up since then. 52% of those in our freshman class are first in their families to attend college. 50% are Native Hawaiian and 43% were Pell eligible, indicating not just economic need, but actually poverty when it comes to living in Hawaii. And for those who are Native Hawaiian and Pell eligible, in this period, they have graduated at higher rates than our overall graduates. So we know that Ho'ole has been a very effective program. Okay, I just wanted to do numbers one time, not like crime numbers or arrest numbers, but like fun education numbers.
Awesome. Sakamoto.
Yes, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Artis, for your report. Any functions coming up, like events where like Kahalu Kāne Community Emergency Response Team can participate in having a table to get outreach?
I didn't pay you for this, did I, Mr. Sakamoto? But what a great intro. September 19th, we will have our Paniolo Barbecue, a free festival with free activities for kids and adults. The food is the only part of their food in the country store, the only fundraising aspects of it. There'll be free music. Kamuela Kimokeo and Sons is playing. Hawaii Loa with Uncle Herb Lee is playing. We'll have Tu Hula Halau. Uncle Vix is going to come and do cowboy hats again. It should be a super fun day. And if neighborhood board or one of the organizations would like to have a table, no fundraising, but definitely for outreach.
Outreach, yes.
And
then,
especially if you do a fun cowboy related theme,
Yeah.
then you in.
can I bring my horse?
We will have a horse through Vet Tech. There will be horse rides.
Oh,
Yeah, at a petting zoo with goats and bunnies. It's going to be so super fun. I can't even tell you.
So,
And I want a mechanical bull, but I can't say that out loud because we're being recorded.
so thank you, Artis. If you can give me shoot me an email.
Thank you.
I
Thank
think I
you.
give my card. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Diane.
Yes. So we've reached out to, because I couldn't forecast the budget quickly enough before everyone left. So we have reached out to those students via email, text if we were able to text, and peer mentors have made calls just to make sure that they're aware of it. And there may have been a postcard that went out. So we want to make sure they know and they come back. So no point in just doing the first year, right? Like the benefit is finishing the degree.
Mahalo.
Halaya oko.
Moving on to election of officers to serve from July 1st through June 30, 2027. The 4 officer positions are chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and anything else that the board determines it needs to conduct its business. So let's have a roll. Let's have a motion for these officer positions, starting with chair. Any motions for chair? Hearing none.
This is
Sakamoto motions, Mo Raki, yes, Chair.
Ilana Bryant, second.
Moved and seconded. Any others? This is a roll call vote, so everybody who's online is going to have to say yay or nay. So going around the room, Laura,
Yay.
Dale,
Yeah.
Neil,
Yay.
Greg,
Yay.
Abe,
Yay.
Adriel,
Yay.
Donald,
Yes.
who's online? Elena,
Aye.
John.
Yeah, yay.
Okay. Mahalo.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Proud to serve. Moving on to vice chair. Any nominations for vice chair?
Sakamoto nomination for Adriel Lam as vice chair.
Adriel Lam is vice chair. Any seconds? Seconded? Any others? Voice vote for Adriel Lam as vice chair. Did you accept?
Sure, I'll accept.
With passion. Sure, I'll accept. Laura?
Yes.
Dale?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Mo, aye. Greg?
Aye.
Abe?
Aye.
Donald?
Aye.
Elena?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Adriel? Congratulations. Moving on to the position of secretary. Any nominations for secretary?
Sakamoto nominates myself.
That's fantastic.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any others? Ready to vote?
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Dale,
Aye.
Neil,
Yes.
Mo, aye.
Aye.
Abe.
Aye.
Adriel.
Aye.
Donald.
Aye.
Yelena.
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Woo! Secretary on the board. Thank you for volunteering. That's a big deal. It's a big deal for me. Since I've been doing it for the last. Okay, and finally, are we still having a treasurer? Okay, we should have a treasurer. Any nominations for treasurer? There's no reporting. There's just, the only thing the treasurer's going to do is if we need to do something is to engage the neighborhood commission to see if there's funding available for things like Paniolo barbecue and other things. Any nominations for treasurer?
I nominate Dale.
I'll second.
It's been nominated, Dale Carsonson, and seconded. Any others?
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Dale?
Aye.
Neil?
Yes.
Mo, yes.
Yes.
Greg? Abe?
Yes.
Adriel? Donald?
Aye.
John?
Yes.
Yelena?
Aye.
Awesome. Congratulations to all the new officers. You'll be serving a term between now and the June 30th. Are there any other items that we needed to talk about related to board business? Yes.
Chair, I just want you to know that we have been able to work with Midweek. So each month, Midweek will include a notification on Kaneohe, or excuse me, Windward Oahu highlights in the voice section announcing when and where the meeting will be held.
Excellent. And on, well, I guess it's just an announcement. I don't need to say it now. Do we have board briefs scheduled? I thought the bicycle folks were here. Yes.
Aloha, Chair.
Aloha.
I'm Christopher Salas from Hawaii Bicycling League. I'm here to announce the Honolulu Century Ride. It will be happening Sunday, September 27th. This is the 43rd iteration of the event. We will be the main lane coning that will affect you guys is Kahikili will be coned from 3 lanes to 2 lanes to allow extra wide shoulders. But that should be, I think, put back to normal by 1 p.m. or around that time. But other than that, we're expecting around 1,200 cyclists, but people do anywhere between 13 to the full 100 miles. But
Is it going and coming on Kahikili or just one side?
going and coming on Kahikili.
Okay.
We used to use the Kamehameha Highway, but I think through other concerns and through DTS, I think we've been pushed to Kahikili as the preferred route.
Good choice. Any questions from the board or the community?
Yes. Sakamoto. How's this special duty? You have people watching so that traffic and everything is okay and nobody gets hurt?
Yeah, we have, I think around 55 officers I request for the event. Most are in town, but we do have some posted throughout Kaneohe and Windward side.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.
Good presentation. Any other, I think there was another bike group that was here to make a presentation. Maybe it was a pentathlon. That's okay. It might be next month. I'm sorry. It's not on the agenda. Next up is resident community 3 minutes each for those folks that have a resident community concern. Are there? Yes, sir. Come to the microphone, give your name and tell us your story. Is that too much?
Okay, Mike Renda. I live in Kaneohe down the street. I've been to multiple board meetings, not like this, but the town hall, other ones. 8 years ago, my house was flooded because of a construction project in Kāne.
Oh,
I have continued to be flooded since then, nonstop, every time there's a heavy rain. And so I have been in contact with the mayor, Ryan Gallagher, Esther Kia Aina, got my favorite sheet. And so far, while, we brought it up, nothing's been done about it. One of the things for me is obviously I'm almost too late to help me. kind of. Maybe it's not. But if you're going to build construction in Kaneohe, you need to have a drainage plan. It rains way too much in Kaneohe to just build, a brand new places and expect it to just gravity drain to somebody below you. Just not right. That's one issue. I talked to the police officer outside. The first time I went to one of these meetings, it was because I was protecting my neighbor from a creeper at 3 a.m. that was stalking my female neighbors. And then, as you guys know, Mike Chu was murdered. His plaque is up in Windward City Shopping Plaza. Many community concerns that people are being released into our community that could be unstable. And so a lot of people are on edge about that. Anybody who's lived in Kaneohe a long time, or even Hawaii in general, we usually walk around no problem. But now when you walk around the corner in some places, you're actually kind of watching your back or turning quick to see if somebody's, kind of coming too close, that kind of thing. So speed bumps. I like some of the speed bumps and I like some of the speed cameras, but I don't like too many. So I'm on my third axle seal, and maybe you might say, well, does that mean you're speeding? Not necessarily. Sometimes I hit some of those bumps in the rain because I can't really see it. And so I'm on my third axle seal. That kind of, I think the speed bumps help personally. So, but I don't want too many around. It's not good for my truck and it's not good for my boat, especially when you're hauling stuff. I also talked to the police officer about the crotch rockets and motorcycles doing 110 miles an hour and almost clipping my vehicle. That's something that's always going to be an ongoing thing here in Hawaii. So those are some of the things. I have a lot more I could go off, but I only got 3 minutes. So
Your cap.
You've achieved that. The flooding thing, if somebody builds, whether it's a government entity or a personal entity, there is a environmental survey ESCP person that has to go and inspect that a few times during the project. Are you saying that none of that's done? Or do you know? Was it a city project? Was it a personal project?
So it was a developer, but they had to get the permits through the city. And so many of us called.
So
Yeah.
just when that happens
Yeah.
for the future, if you're getting runoff from a project, go right to DPP.
I did.
And they said,
So they would replace the inspector every 2 weeks. They told the person about it. They came and threatened me. Said they had so much money they could do whatever they wanted.
who, the people doing the construction or DPP threatened you?
The person doing the construction. So then the next thing was I finally got the last guy. So there was 3 inspectors. One of them, last guy was a young guy. And he said that my boss was calling me a liar. And so I said, put your boss on the phone.
Okay, I don't want to hear any more of this. This sounds like a convoluted situation. Next time this happens, just come to the board. Just come to the board right as soon as it happens if you're not getting anywhere, and let us,
If you will, real quick.
and hold on, let us try and engage with the elected officials that are here. We have a mayor's representative that comes to the board every month. First time I've heard of this, that you're saying it right now. And it sounds like this has been ongoing and you're not getting anywhere with it.
Yeah.
So
when
you're here now.
when you alluded, are you saying it in a disrespectful way towards me?
What do you mean?
I just want to check, like it's a fake story or something.
No, it's difficult to follow. I mean,
Okay, check.
it's difficult to follow.
Make sure, because I can tell you, me and my wife deflooding my house is not convoluted.
Yeah, well, for you, probably not. But I want to make sure that if you have an issue, instead of letting it go on for a period of time, and now you come here after how many years?
So I've already went to all the other people, all the way to the mayor's office.
Okay, well, this is the first that we're hearing of it.
So, but I've been to all the other board meetings and I've been on television and I've said it. And what I'm saying is nothing's changed. And I
Okay.
want to see change. So
Yeah.
I love you, man. I'm a Kaneohe guy. So I have respect for you guys, but I'm not going to back down on something that I think should be fixed for people. Even if it doesn't work for me, I want it to work.
When we hear things at the board level, we ask those elected officials and we ask the mayors or the governor's rep to get back to us.
Yeah.
So it's not like something that goes into a black hole, and they do. They do a
Okay.
good job of getting that
I would
information
love
back.
that. So Duke's up.
Okay, so you said what your name was.
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
Michael Renda.
Last name?
RENDA,
Rinda, Michael. And you live where in Kaneohe?
Paleca Road,
Paleca Road.
Yeah.
Paleca
right down
Road.
the street.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other community concerns? Antiraki. Aloha.
Hello, Mike Kako.
Aloha.
I just want to bring up, I recently went to the Mackay Watch meeting and he appeared right before Memorial Day. And one of the issues again came up, Aha'olaka. So as you know, I guess there was someone that hired a strip club from the mainland came. Boats were out there with two strip pole dancing boats out there. There was also a boat out there selling liquor. Right, with this meeting that I was in, had representatives from Kaneohe Hi'ia Kahalu'u and also the Coast Guard. I informed the Mokapu representative that they asked me to advocate a meeting for August 11th. It's going to be here at Minot Community College, and the Hi'ia NER is going to be sponsoring it. Ahamoku, myself, we're going to have co-sponsors on it. This issue cannot be swept under the rug anymore. I know I only got 3 minutes, so I'm not going to give you the history on Aha'olaka, but we will have the history there about Aha'olaka. Ridiculous. Because for us Hawaiian people, it is a sacred place. And what they're doing out there strip dancing, and pictures are sent to me is unreal. It's like they're having sex right there in the open. And that's desecration already. So we'll have, I think a couple might be here to give the history, the cultural history of it. But at that meeting, someone suggested, and not even, it was a non-Hawaiian, to maybe close Aha'olaka. Most of you who don't know, Aha'olaka is the Kaneohe sandbar. They said maybe about time we close it back for cultural purposes. My answer to that was, we need to get the whole community involved. It should be open to the public. But again, if the DLNR that was also there at the meeting, they said they couldn't handle that. They only have 3 officers at the time. If they can't handle that, we together as a community got to find a way. This has been put together. It has been going on for too many years. On Memorial Day weekend, you know, there's no liquor at all in Kaneohe Bay. So the same group, my son does Facebook, I don't do that, showed me, he goes, look, Mom, same people. This is at the Waimea Beach Park. Not sure. I said, so this involves all of our elected officials, not only state, but city also. We cannot let this continue in our community. And if there's any questions.
Any questions? Comments?
August 11th, we're doing it after RIMPAC because we want Mokapu and all of the military to come to this meeting also. I know. That's the bad part. Now I'm going to give you guys a good part. The Kolapoka Hawaiian Civic Club again is going to have they're going to have a composers contest open to the public. The theme is Kolaupoko. We have 5 categories. We have professional, amateur, Hawaiian language. This year we have Opio for the younger generation. I think the first prize is like $2,000. It's free to enter and everybody gets a prize. So come, remember, anything about Kolaupoko, you can write about your dog, your cat, your mother, whoever. But Kolaupoko is a theme and I'm looking forward to seeing you more to enter again.
I have a mele.
Mahalo. Any questions?
What's that?
It's gonna be, I think they got Halina'au. I'm not sure. I have to call Makana back for what room, but it will be advertised. But we need to get, our community need to get involved. The meeting will be August 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Winter Community College. Mahalo.
Will DLNR be here?
Everybody will be here, including Tanya, the harbor's, the head of the harbor's. Now, all of our legislators, well, I know the Marine Corps community relations person, she lives on my property. Mahalo. They're informed, I know.
Well, he's listening.
Mahalo.
And during new arrivals orientation, I think there's a discussion about the sandbar and the marina and using boats and yeah. Right.
None of their boats don't have. Marine Corps base is good at that. But it was also brought up at the meeting, the Marine Corps base people had bracelets to identify themselves. So what does that mean? We don't know. So we'll get to the bottom of it together as a community, and looking forward to see you guys there. Okay, 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 good. But anyway, there's too much illegal businesses going on in Kaneohe Bay. I go to all of the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council meetings. I go to most of the neighborhood board meetings, and this has been going on. We have children. You know how many teenagers they said was out there? How you like your children watching people having sex out in the open in the ocean? Think about it. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Okay. Any other community concerns?
No,
Yes.
Marie, I guess. Or
Hold
who?
on. No,
Sorry.
hold on. I've already selected someone else.
Okay.
Thank you. Aloha, everyone. This is my first time attending the community board. I'm
What's your name?
Karen Fetzer.
Karen
Fetzer.
Fetzer. Okay.
Doug Pasnick is my husband, by the way, Dawn. I wasn't going to bring anything up. I was just coming to observe, but as long as people are expressing concerns, we live on Cam Highway, about a mile north of He'eia Pier, right at the curve on Cam that's super sharp. Are you aware of what I'm talking about? And people come from the north around that curve, and they must be driving 40 miles an hour sometimes on that curve. It's hard to believe. But they can't possibly see around that curve. And so to cross the street from our house across the street, we don't do it because it's a death wish. So maybe I should have brought it up with the police officer. I don't know where this concern goes legitimately, but
If it's north of He'eia Pier, that would be the Kahalu'u Neighborhood Board.
oh, thank you.
But it's okay. You can bring it up here, and it's now documented in officially in the minutes. So well done.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Karen. Any other community concerns? I have a question, Auntie Rocky. The people that are driving boats out there and bringing people out to the Ahualaka, do we know who those people are?
We see them right now. Right now, we have the Makai Watch, which actually we give stipend to some of them. The NER is actually sponsoring Makai Watch for Kahia. What they're doing is they're monitoring it. They're just monitoring the illegal. So many illegal people out there, you'd not believe it. And you know, as you run the ones in the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council, there's only supposed to be less than a dozen legal commercial businesses out there. Right now, it's close to 100. According to their count. They can't do anything, but they're monitoring it for us. So these issues will all come up in the next meeting this on August 11th, the Kaneohe Bay issues.
Got it.
It needs all to be addressed.
No, Donald, we're good. Thank you.
Marie.
Community concern online, Marie?
But first, in conjunction with what Rocky's been talking about, I've been listening to this for 15 years, 20 years, Rocky, about activities on the bay that not being addressed, illegal activities, and just wanted to add my support and outrage that nothing from any of the agencies is being done. So keep going, girl. Anyway, Chair, I don't know, these aren't necessarily concerns. I don't know if you'd like me to tag on to your emergency prepared committee at the end or run through this quickly now.
You can tag on at the end.
Okay, mahalo.
Next up, any other community concerns? All right, moving on to elections. Any from Representative Takuta's office? Governor Green's representative. Hi, Diane.
Oh, sorry. I just didn't want to, I'm kind of short. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I hope so. Oh my gosh. Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm from the state, from Governor Green's, well, governor's representative, I guess. I rounded up a few things to tell you tonight that I thought would be of interest to the Kaneohe neighborhood. Number one, Governor Green has a monthly newsletter. It is called Ke Alaho, A New Path Forward, and you can read the latest edition or you can sign up. The website link is governor.hawaii.gov/newsletter/. Number two, Sunbucks. The Department of Human Services, or DHS, is holding its Sunbucks program for summer 2026. The online application is open. DHS is administering this benefit in partnership with the Hawaii Department of Education to support school-aged children during the summer. It provides benefits to households with school-age kids to buy food during the summer months. Households that are eligible get $189 for each qualifying child, but you do have to establish your eligibility annually. And I did provide a long list of who qualifies and who needs to complete an application. I've given it over to the board, so that will be posted on the neighborhood board's website. But also, just for the sake of reading it on for this YouTube video, for more information or to start an application, go to the Sunbucks website at sunbucks.dhs.hawaii.gov or 888-975-SEBT. That's 7328. Number three, Na'alehele program. The State of Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources is updating. What I did. Oh, sorry. Okay. Is updating the Na'alehele program plan for the first time since 1991. So you are invited to provide your input on the future of trails and access for the state. Did you know that if you enter public lands in Hawaii, most of the time you're doing this on a trail or access road managed by Na'alehele Trail and Access Program, which is part of the DLNR, Division of Forestry and Wildlife, or DOFA. So there's a draft of the plan. You can go and review it on the Na'alehele website and provide your input. dlnr.hawaii.gov/recreation/NAH. This is through July 31st of this year. Or state contracting opportunities for small businesses. The Small Business Initiative from the State of Hawaii Procurement Office, or spo.hawaii.gov, is designed to help you grow your small business. It was established to ensure small businesses, especially those owned by Native Hawaiian, veterans, and women, have a pathway to participate in state contracting opportunities. It's free to register. I've given the board the link to put on the website. It's pretty easy. There's like 4 or 5 steps. And if you need help, you can email SBO, Small Business Office, at sphawaii.com or 808-466-1403. And lastly, there's a job recruitment here at WCC. It is happening on Friday, August 7th, but it's a recruitment for DHS, that's Human Services, and DCR, that's Corrections and Rehabilitation. Want to work at those places, there's a link to the job posting. You have to go and apply to this link by Monday. That's this coming Monday, the 20th. And then if you're selected, they have a targeted recruitment for social workers, human services professionals for DHS and DCR. So that would be, if you're invited, that's on August 7th, Friday, all day, Windward Community College, Hale Akoakoa. And you'll know if you're picked, because if you apply, then they'll screen you in advance and give you access to scheduled interviews. Again, all that information on Kaneohe Neighborhood Board's website. That's my update for you.
Mahalo. Holding for questions. Mayor Rick Bongiardi's represent.
Good evening, Chair Radke, neighborhood board members, Andy Kawano. Oh. Director of Budget and Fiscal Services, City and County of Honolulu. Just a reminder for everyone, by September 30, if you qualify for the real property tax credit, you need to submit your application. September 30, some of the qualifiers are you own a home, you have a home exemption on file. All title holders have gross income and also non-taxable income of no more than $80,000 in the aggregate. council members have been talking about increasing that limit. But I've been stressing to them in meetings that we should have our permitted interaction group and talk about all of the different exemptions exemptions and credits they've been trying to enact in terms of increasing tax reductions for residents. So I suggested that we talk about everything one time so that we can look at everything globally and manage our tax program so we can pay for services. With regard to department issues from the last meeting, reestablishment of the ADA committee, Mr. Member Sakamoto brought it up, and unfortunately, our current managing director designate Jayeram met with Patrick Gartside, and he informed and you, Mr. Sakamoto, and he informed you that they have not changed their position. Administration will not establish the committee during this administration because of other committees in existence. With regard to the new storage facility on Kamehameha Highway, Member Sakamoto asked about whether the new storage facility being constructed near the police station has been presented before the board. Chair Radke confirmed that no presentation had been made. This went to DPP. Research revealed by DPP, Department of Planning and Permitting, found that the applicant is Lockup Kāne LLC. There is a building permit, A 2024-10-0393 and A 2024-10-0458. Both issued in May 2026. Permits were obtained through the standard process. Storage facilities are permitted uses in the B2 Community Business District. So they're okay building the storage facility. Kaneke Street Bridge, Member Sakamoto requested a status update regarding the deteriorating condition of the bridge. Department of Facilities Maintenance inspected and found that the bridge appears to be secure. However, we have requested the Department of Design and Construction to inspect and make their recommendations for the bridge, if any. We'll report on DDC's findings during the next meeting. There's one open item on the streetlights on Kinaole Road. I don't have an answer. We're going to have a discussion with DPP on the trees that are overgrown and impacting the lighting there. So I'll see if I can report back next month on that. That's it. I'll take questions.
Questions forthcoming? Council Member Kia Aina.
Thank you, Chair. Aloha and good evening, everyone. My name is Irene Lemos, and I work for Councilmember Esther Kia Aina. She apologizes that she is unable to be here tonight, so I will be doing the report. So to begin, in response to Board Member Adriel Lamb's question from last month's neighborhood board meeting regarding ballot processing, the acting city clerk clarified that the approximately 19,000 ballots the board member referenced represent the first step in the ballot processing process. So during this stage, each ballot envelope is reviewed to verify the voter's eligibility, which is done by the city's election staff. And then once that process is complete, custody of the ballot envelopes is transferred from the city's election division to the state's Office of Elections, which opens the envelopes and processes the ballots through the vote counting equipment. Earlier today, the Committee on Zoning and Planning, which Councilmember Esther Kia Aina chairs, passed two measures, Resolution 26-159 and Resolution 26-160, which urges the state to prohibit the commercial harvest of aquatic life in Hawaii's marine waters. So Councilmember Kia Aina would like to thank the Kaneohe Neighborhood Board for their leadership and dedication in championing this issue. So Resolution 26-159 urges the State Board of Land and Natural Resources to direct the Department of Land and Natural Resources Division of Aquatic Resources to adopt rules prohibiting the harvest of aquatic life from state of Hawaii marine waters for commercial aquarium purposes whereas Resolution 26-160 urges the Hawaii State Legislature to enact legislation that prohibits the harvest of aquatic life from state of Hawaii marine waters for commercial aquarium purposes. Both resolutions are anticipated to be heard at the next full council meeting on Wednesday, August 12th. So the link to both resolutions will be provided in the chat box after my report. And at last month's meeting, the council member shared that she would be hosting a Windward Wildfire Town Hall. So our office has secured the Kailua Intermediate School on Thursday, August 13th at 6 p.m. The council member is working with the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization to plan this event, and she is looking to invite the Honolulu Fire Department, the city's Department of Emergency Management, the Hawaii State Fire Marshal, the Honolulu Police Department, and Hawaiian Electric. Leaders from these groups will engage in a panel discussion, and there will be time for Q&A after the discussion and tables with resources available for interested residents. And lastly, the council member has confirmed her land conservation workshop on Monday, August 17th at Hale Akokoa at Windward Community College at 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The council member has confirmed attendance from the city's Clean Water and Natural Lands Program, the Department of War's Readiness and Environmental Protection Integration REPI Program, Trust for Public Land, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, and Hawaii Land Trust. This workshop will be for nonprofit organizations and community members that are interested in land preservation. As soon as we get the action alert and media graphic, we will share with the neighborhood board and the community, and information for the town hall and the workshop will be provided in the chat box. And that concludes my report. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now we break into Q&A for all four of those elected officials. So at this time, questions? Go with Dale, Neil, then you. Or no? And then Donald, Adriel, Donald.
And Laura.
Okay, and Laura. Oh, can we start with Laura so I can work around the horn? And Elena's online? Okay, gotcha.
Andy, can you tell me again about, has a pig been established for the discussion about all those taxes, or it's going to be?
I think it's at this time going to be. I just talked to Chair Waters after our last Committee on Budget meeting on Tuesday, and he's informed me that he has decided to do one. So I hope he sets it up right away. So we have some conclusions on what we're going to do before the next budget cycle, before it goes heavy. In the start of the new calendar year.
So how would we be informed about that particular, it's open to?
The meetings are, the initial meetings that we have are not open to the public, but we usually have information briefings as we go through, the process, and then we have a final report that's public as well.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Dale?
3 questions. Andy, 2 questions for you, if I may, please. In the final budget for the city and county, what was the built-in amount for the estimate on transient accommodation tax for 2026, 2027?
I believe it was $105 million in total.
And that's based on the 3% for the city and county,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay, so about 105 million estimated.
Yes.
The second question is the budget allocation for the Department of Emergency Management. What was the final number and the final total for that?
I don't have that off of the top of my head, but I can get it to you at the next meeting or send it to Chair Radke. I can pull it up from the website.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And then this is kind of an open question, so I'll direct it to Esther's representative. As I was driving up this evening, and we know that the ballots are coming up and will be sent out, and then if anyone had noticed, there is a ballot box by the gymnasium in an unsecured area. And I'm just wondering how the designated areas were determined, that it would be left open and, for potential criminal activity. There's so much discussion going on, are the ballots being correctly counted, et cetera. Why would we have something in an open area, unsecured, no camera or anything? Yeah. So it's a big yellow box.
Oh. Yeah, so I will get that question. I will get that answer for you in the next neighborhood board. I will have to follow up with the city clerk's office on that. Yeah, so I don't have an answer for you right now, but I will.
So Irene, if you do happen to get some response back before the election, if you don't need to wait for the next neighborhood board, you can just email it to me and I'll share it with the board and post it on our blog.
Okay, can do. Thank you.
Neil.
Okay, question for Andy. Andy, back to the storage facility being built. Okay, so you said they have permits, and that's fine. But does that extend to their ability to block the right lane on Cam Highway every day, all day? Because that's what they're doing.
Has HPD been notified?
Well, HPD has officers there.
They're there.
They're there.
And they're not doing anything.
No, they're
blocking traffic.
They're blocking traffic. I mean, and it does sometimes extend. There's only 2 lanes, right? Going north. Okay. So sometimes it does actually extend to both lanes.
Okay.
But it's bad enough that they have 1 lane. I mean, it's all day, every day.
And are the officers directing traffic? No. Okay. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up
Thank
and then, yeah, see if we can do something about it. During rush time? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's all day, every day.
It's poor planning. And when it comes to the end of their workday, they're moving their equipment out into the street, backing things up.
And
It's just common sense things that, but if you have your job to do, you do it. They never came to the board. We never heard anything at the neighborhood board about anything about this. All we saw was a big construction project. And those would be the things that the folks at the board, as you hear now, would have brought up. And
okay,
it's permitted,
but it's not being managed.
We don't think so.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Do something about it.
Moving around, Adriel Lamb.
My turn. I have 3 items, originally 2, but the first one, thanks for the council member for following up on the question about the ballots and all that. It just asks that we tracked this election. The city was very good about reporting number of ballots processed every day until the last day, and I think they did it openly for the past 3 election cycles, but never got the final numbers on the last day until the state was done with their counts. I don't know why that is, but if you're processing 40,000 ballots on the last day, I expect you to have a number by the end of Saturday or the election day or soon after that. Not 3 days afterwards, but when we find out how many ballots you actually have. Second item is I want to thank the mayor for conducting as Donald has his flag out here, this is our first meeting after our 250th birthday, semi-quincentennial. Thank the mayor for actually doing a great fireworks show, and also the July 8th reading of the Declaration of Independence. That was special for me to be able to, I was tracking this with the nationwide reading of the Declaration of Independence at noon here, as well as 6 p.m. across the country, or in East Coast and also in Guam. But that raises my third item that I'd like to bring up the governor's office is the University of Hawaii received $1.6 million for American History and Civic Education as a grant from the Department of Education. I've been trying to ask, where's that money going? Or if there's ways we can help with that program. So I don't know if you can help find out who at University of Hawaii is responsible for that and who we can talk to about that. Right. I myself and a group have been doing some civic education, free classes on American history and American civics, Declaration of Independence and Constitution. And, we've been doing this free 1-week seminars for K through 12. And, I thought that was part of what the program does. And so if we can also assist with that in the state of Hawaii. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Donald Suckman, for at-large member. First questions, 2 questions for Governor. I brought this up in last month's meeting. We missed you last month, but I brought it to the legislature about state hospital. It's overcrowded. The employees are frustrated. They can they're getting abused and whatnot. Can you find out what's going on with that? If what can be done to alleviate the overcrowding and whatnot, and help our state employees not to be abused by the patients and overcrowding. And the second thing for you is Director Sniffen of DOT has brought up a subject about electrical vehicles, and they're going to be paying more. And you know, the governor, I commend him for being, his name is green, and he wants to go green, but to give a high tax on the vehicles for electric vehicles for people who want to go into the emissions to get off of fossil fuel, we should do more for the people by not giving these outrageous prices to pay, because it's a expensive vehicle, and then they have to pay more. So compared to a gas vehicle, but whatever you can find out about that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Find out about
About the increase of the normally we pay what, $50 right now, right? And it's going to go up to what, $130 or more as it goes up. And we still have the goal of 2030 and 2045. So we really want to make sure that people who buy these vehicles don't have to pay outrageous prices and whatnot, but a fair price, I would say.
Wait, if you already know what the price is going up to, what do you need me to find out? The reason or?
Yeah, the reason why.
And should I communicate your displeasure as well? Would that be okay?
Yeah, it would be okay. But just to get the concerns about what can help to help the people that have these vehicles, because they're trying to do their best to get a fossil fuel, I mean, climate change and everything else.
Okay, can do.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I listened to the recording on YouTube, but I didn't hear you say this. So if I missed it, I'm sorry that I didn't address it in this meeting.
Yeah, it's just the state hospital brought up to the legislature to Matayoshi was representative. But
Okay, yeah, no problem.
yeah, it was in the news. Thank you. And then Andy Kawano, thank you for giving the mayor's committee. But you know, the ADA law was signed in July 26, 1990, and we have an elderly committee for the community services, and that's the E. But then we still need representative for the D, which is the disabled people. The mayor, the governor, and the city council passed the proclamation for 25 years last year for the anniversary. So I guess we gotta wait for a new mayor and then in 2028 so we can have this committee back. But it's too bad we could have combined the elderly committee with the disabled community, so we have voice for us people like myself and others, so we can express our concerns and can help the administration and the departments. But I guess we have to wait till 2028. And regarding the storage place, I went to Pro City 21 neighborhood board, and they had a presentation, a briefing. It caught my eye about storage place. So I testified at their meeting, and they didn't have a handicap parking. And I mentioned that by law, you're supposed to have one for people with disability to park and unload. They had 12 stalls and they had one load-in zone, but no handicap. So I mentioned that to the chair, and he thanked me for bringing that to attention, and they finally put it in. So why there wasn't there a briefing, I don't know why, but that building is humongous, and it doesn't look right according to people that talk to me. And regarding the bridge, I hope things can be done to fix the bridge over there at the Kaneki Street, because when I went, the stairway was halfway gone, and it's not accessible for wheelchair for ramps. But thank you anyway, Andy. And then City Council, I listened to the bills. You had Bill 18, which is the housing, Bill 7, which is also for housing, and then Bill 47. Can you elaborate why Bill 18, they took elevators out of the walk-up apartments? I believe that when people get old, the elderly and the disabled, I testified the first reading of the bill, it's very harsh for people when they get old and elderly or disabled to go down and up the stairs. So it would be practical to have elevator to help them, but the cost is so much. But can you elaborate, Irene, on those three bills I just mentioned?
Hi, Donald. I will bring that to Councilmember Esther Kia Aina. I can't comment or elaborate on that, but I will share that with her, and then she'll be able to share her response, if that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you, Irene, for bringing me the report for the emergency on tsunami of July 29th, 2025. I shared it with the board, and it's interesting what they had to say, what happened, and what they plan to do for the future of natural disasters. Thank you.
Online, Yelena.
Hi, aloha. This is for Council Member Kia Aina's representative. I really just wanted to express my thanks and appreciation to Council Member Kia Aina and her co-introducers on the aquarium resolutions. At the hearing, she acknowledged the work that our neighborhood board and our community had done on the issue, and she really took it, this opportunity to elevate our community's voice and take action. And so I just wanted to mahalo her. That's it.
Awesome. Moving on to congressional.
Sorry, I'm here. Sorry. I love you too.
Hi.
Hi. It's regarding the storage facility that what's the procedure for neighboring structures that have experienced damage because of the work that they've been doing? Is there any procedure that those buildings should follow?
Let's ask Mike. No,
That was a good one, huh? Like that one, huh?
There are procedures in place.
Right.
Is that so? You're asking what the procedures are?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody know what the procedures are, or you're asking Esther's?
Oh, not Esther. It was the mayor's rep that was talking about it, right?
Andy?
The,
I don't know what the procedures are for a complaint, but I think DPP has.
If you're a neighboring, I think building or facility, you should go talk to the contractor directly.
That's part of the permitting process when they start, is they have to go to all of those adjoining neighbors and express what they're doing. If they haven't done that, then they did not follow the proper permitting procedures.
and they never came to the board, correct?
Are you a neighboring person, or are you talking for somebody else?
Yes, talking for somebody else.
Got it. I'd advise them to check DPP's website and find out how to file a complaint. If they have trouble, Marie, bring it back to me, and
Thank you.
we'll shoot it up through the mayor's office.
Thank you.
Hi. Was that it for the? Yes. Now moving on to
Oh, okay.
state officials. Senator Keho Kalole. Senator Awa.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Ethan Yamamoto. I work for Senator Wass. I'll be giving his monthly brief. Last week, Senator Awa participated in the joint Senate and House Judiciary informational briefing with Chief Election Officer Scott Nago. During the briefing, Senator Awa raised concerns about long wait times at in-person voting centers, with some voters waiting more than 6 hours to cast their ballots. He emphasized the need for additional in-person voting centers, particularly in light of concerns about potential mail-in ballot delivery delays. Our office also continues working with the Department of Planning and Permitting on constituent concerns regarding illegal vacation rentals in the district. While enforcement of these issues can be challenging, we remain committed to advocating for accountability and stronger enforcement efforts. This concludes this month's report. If you have any questions or concerns you would like me to bring back to Senator Awa, please feel free to let me know. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Next up is Representative Kitagawa.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to provide a couple of updates. So we just finished our annual Castle Complex School Supply Drive. So Representative Masayoshi and I have been doing this now for 6 years. So we held donation drive tables at Windward Mall this past weekend. And then we did counting and sorting and packing of all of the items at the Windward District office this past week. And so thank you to all of the volunteers who came out and helped us to put that together. The schools are now picking up all of their school supplies to get prepared for the start of the school year. As in previous years, we're able to provide over 500 students with school supplies to help them get ready for the start of the school year. So over the course of the 6 years that we've been doing it, we've now helped over 3,000 kids. And so really that's something that we couldn't do without the community support and the generosity of the community to donate monetarily or with school supplies. So thank you to everyone who participated in that. And then I also just wanted to make a note that, and we've talked about the election, it's coming up, ballots will be coming out within the next week or so, if not sooner. But Kaneohe does have an in-person voting center. So we are one of two. There's one in Wahiawa and one in Kaneohe, as well as Honolulu and Kapolei. But between August 3rd to the 7th, 9 to 5, Kaneohe District Park will have in-person voting. So I just wanted to mention that. And I know Dale mentioned a question about the voter drop boxes. When the ballots come out, I believe the city, whoever collects all of the ballots, they do that every day. And so they take the ballots. It doesn't sit more than 1 day in the box. So just wanted to mention that. I don't have details on like all the specifics, but that's just something that we were told at the last election. So I can answer any questions after everyone's done. Thank you.
Mahalo, Representative Scott Matayoshi.
Try not to break this thing. All right, hi everyone. So we had our e-waste recycle. Lisa just talked about our school supply drive. We just had our e-waste recycle drive to the weekend after the last board meeting. So it's been a little while, but we haven't gotten to talk about it. Once again, I'm always amazed at how much electronic junk everyone has in their house. We're building that storage facility because people have too much junk sitting around their house. We collected 2 truckfuls of e-waste, probably 4 times as much as any other e-waste recycle drive on the island. Dozens and dozens of flat screen TVs, computers, you name it, kind of came in. So great service for the community, and I'm glad the community is still really responding. Honestly, this is the 3rd or 4th year we've done this. I thought we would have a lot of living rooms by now, but they keep on coming, so we're going to keep on holding them. There are a couple of bills that passed that just got signed into law. I've been fighting against flavored vaping for the entirety of my legislative career, so 8 years now. We finally made some really good progress forward. We have one bill to ban disposable vapes. So about 5 disposable vapes are thrown away every second in our country. So we have about 150 million being thrown away into our landfills every year. And all of those have batteries in them, electronic toxic waste going into our landfills, really bad for H-Power too. So we're banning all those in Hawaii. The other bill is banning everything that's not FDA authorized. So there are only 45 e-cigarettes that are authorized by the FDA, but you go to the shelves, there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands out there. Those are all being sold illegally, but the FDA doesn't have the power to, or doesn't have the manpower to enforce them. So through this bill, we've given the state the power to now go in and enforce it based on the FDA's list. So we're not making our own list, but the state is going to go into the retailers and enforce those finally. Before we passed the bill, there were no flavors on the FDA approved list. Just by coincidence, maybe about a couple of weeks after we passed this bill, 2 flavors got put on that list, 1 mango and 1 blueberry. So there will still be flavors. Those are the ones that really target the kids and get them addicted to nicotine. But we're going to wipe out almost all of them as of next year. So really good step forward, trying to stop the next generation again from being addicted to nicotine for the rest of their lives. We had a good e-bike bill come through my committee that got passed. So now we have a regulatory framework for that, some enforcement mechanisms, age restrictions for level 2 and level 3 e-bikes, and bike helmet restrictions too for underage e-bike riders. Those guys are nuts. I mean, I see them doing wheelies down the street, like 2 or 3 at a time. So hopefully this will start to get control of them. Again, not a silver bullet. You're going to need enforcement, but at least there's some laws and restrictions in place now. Preschool meals were just talked about. I just wanted to shout that out. Another thing I was one of the first to introduce in the state that we got passed, not universally, but for almost all kids going to school. And I was a former school teacher in Nanakuli, and my kids would come to school hungry, and it's impossible to teach a hungry kid. That's just not their first priority. So they disrupt the rest of the class. So I'm really glad we got that through really helps everyone in the class learn, not just that kid. Ask a teacher what one disruptive kid can do in the class. It's chaos, right? So we're trying to address that kind of one hungry student at a time. Donald brought up the higher EV registration. I've got an EV too, so it hurts. But one of the ways we fund our roads is through gas taxes. And EVs, like mine, don't pay gas taxes because we don't use gas, but we're heavy. So we pay by weight, which is fair, I think, because it grinds up the roads faster, but we're not paying in the same amount to maintain the roads. And I as an EV owner think that's also unfair. I am happy to pay more, my fair share, to make sure that our roads are maintained. I may not pay the gas tax now, but the higher cost goes towards road maintenance, and I'm okay with that. So it is a bummer, but every time I drive past the gas station, I see that price. No, not as much a bummer. State Hospital, we talked about it last time, Donald, too. Thank you for being an ally with this. I've been pushing for years for an expansion of State Hospital. Renovating Goonsburg, I think, is still the logical thing to do. The new building had so many problems. Unbelievable when you walk in there. They were pouring grout down the drains, the contractors. I mean, it's crazy stuff. I've been in touch with the AG over the past year to get regular updates on the progress of trying to remediate some of these things. It's not public right now, so I can't make any kind of comment. It will be hopefully fairly soon, but the state is taking steps to remediate and trying to get the contractor to fix that, not on the state's dime. Although we did allocate, I think, 5 or 7 million last year to do some more immediate fixes, some more health safety things. There weren't anti-ligature doorknobs so people could really hurt themselves. We're heading in the right direction, I think. I think we do need more capacity, though. All of the commits in all the patients in State Hospital right now are what we call forensic patients, so court-ordered. We need room for the civil commits, people who have not yet committed a crime. And those are the guys you see on the streets that need help, that need somewhere to go, that need treatment. So, I mean, I am still pushing for more capacity, whether that's building a new building on JPAD or renovating Goonsburg, or there are a number of other, Bishop Building is another one that we could do that's still on State Hospital property. There are methods there are things that we're looking into, but it's going to cost money. And we're kind of in a bad spot right now. So we'll keep fighting. Donald will keep fighting. I'll keep fighting. Hopefully we'll get there. Yeah, that's it. Open to any questions.
Awesome. Representative Mike Lee. Okay, let's go ahead and have Q&A for state officials. Neil, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay.
Sakamo.
Not you yet, Donald. Go ahead, Neil.
So this is to Representative Kitagawa, referencing the resolution that this board passed last May urging greater focus on pre-disaster planning and mitigation. I would like to give a personal thank you to the representative for her response to us. She was actually the only one to respond so far to the Emergency Preparedness Committee. So thank you, Representative Kitagawa.
Sakamoto.
Okay, thank you, Donald Sakamoto. Thank you, Chair. Thanks for your reports, Legislature. Just to let you know that I'm the chairperson for the Honolulu Elections Advisory Accessibility Needs Advisory Committee. Was sworn on April 15. I've been there from 2022. This was acted by the legislature to have counties and states to have these committees for people with disabilities. So besides a mail-in ballot and in person, we also have electronic ballot. So you can register for that, even if you're a disabled person like myself or a sighted person, you can go online and do it safely and securely, and they'll process your ballot for you online. So you don't have to do it at the in-person polling or mail-in ballot if you don't want to. So just want to elaborate that for Representative Kitagawa and the rest of the people here. Regarding the State Hospital, Scott Matioshi, I appreciate your email blast when you report about the State Hospital, and it's a big thing. I have a friend that works there, and he's not doing too well health-wise, but he used to get a lot of abuse and whatnot from the patients because they're overcrowded. So he's a state employee. So hopefully we can resolve that problem. Regarding with the highway for Kiana Ole Road where I live, it is a big construction. So Scott, I appreciate what you can do to work with the Department of Transportation. I think he always does. I have connections to Robin Shishiro, Deputy Director, but that's a major job right there. So I hope they can fix it right away and we can get back to normal. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Lamb.
I had a comment. Thanks for the follow-up on the Dropbox. I think my question is there a way we can ask for maybe a better location of it? I think Kāne District Park is pretty central, but right where it's at right now is in a dark location. You don't see it at night. Up by the building, it's lighted, and also there's a part of that parking lot that's not a parking space. It's like the turnaround, which I think it's better for that Dropbox to be, because right now where it's at, it's taking up 3 parking spaces. And if you're there on the weekends and all the sports are going on, everyone's crowded around there trying to fill in parking space. And before they put cones around it, they had cars right next to the Dropbox. And so if you can put it in a place where it's lighted, I think it's more secure when it's under lighted conditions, especially when it's there overnight. And I don't know if they have cameras inside the building that they can help monitor, or it's close to where the staff is also looking over the box too. They can see what's going on. So I don't know if any of the elected representatives or officials can take some recommendations on where to improve the placement of that box. Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? I gave a shout out to our local elected officials this morning, actually, at KHON. They have a podcast called Unscripted, and they asked board chairs to come down and talk about specific things. Oddly enough, I talked about emergency preparedness. I talked about roads. I talked about permitting, and I talked about Kāpai and how it should be used when we do things like building a very large storage site, or when we do things like any sort of development. And we have 1,000 acres in Maunawili where we need to start thinking about protecting. It's conservation land that the state has procured, and we need to start thinking about who's going to do what where, and we need to have a lot of community input to make sure that that waterway that's flowing Maukamakai and goes into Kawanui Marsh allows the marsh to do what it's and keep that water clean. So we may even be establishing a permitted interaction group to help the folks that are trying to figure out what to do with that land. Hopefully it's done Pono. Okay, moving on to board. One thing we need to talk about is our meeting recess. This board normally recesses in December for community potluck and Paina. Do we want to do that again?
So moved.
Seconded? All in favor? Okay, without objection. We will have a party in December.
Chair.
Yeah.
Can we have another one in the middle of summer?
The middle summer, like now?
No, for future, yeah, later on.
Like next year?
Yeah.
How come?
I need a vacation.
It's, normally in the past, and I've been on this board since 2011, in May and June, the board attendance starts to drop off just because we've gone through a whole year and people are a little bit maybe tired. For the last 2 years, this board has been full body through June and April, May, June, which hasn't happened before in the last couple of years. So big commendation to all of you all for sticking it out. Does anybody want to discuss further the June opportunity? We can't do it we could do it in July, but that's the voting of officers. Okay, no more discussion about having a second one? Okay. Thanks. Approval of the June regular meeting minutes. Secretary Sakamoto has provided input for everybody on the board to look at as amended.
Yes, I amended the meeting minutes. I sent it to all the board members, so for their approval. So would like to motion to accept the minutes.
Seconded.
yeah.
All in favor to accept the amended minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, without objection. Now we start getting into some of the things that I had talked about earlier. For example, the board vacancies and at-large assignments. If a board position is open for more than 2 months without somebody filling it, we'll have the opportunity to fill it with turn it into an at-large seat. Is that what the consensus was? Any discussion on that?
Chair, I guess added on to it, maybe we keep it at large or keep it open for that member who comes on for about a year until we do the officer elections and revalidate that seat if there's anyone from the community wants to come to that seat.
So annually or during the regular 2-year election cycle?
And effective annually for the empty seat that becomes an at-large seat.
So somebody from a sub-district can pop in the July meeting.
Right.
And ask to be.
Yeah, gives someone in the subdistrict an opportunity to come.
So what
on
happens to the at-large person?
Would they remain?
For example, somebody comes on board to Kokokahi next month and it's an at-large seat. And then at the end, next year, Kahi comes available again. And now, so somebody from that sub-district sits, gets voted into that board. What happens to that person? Well, that would make it 18 people on the board. Oh, well, that's different. Because that doesn't make us 18. That keeps us at our board 17.
Chair.
Were you going to say something? Chelsea was going to say something. Oh. Is that what you were going to say? Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you were going to say the same thing? Microphone? Okay. Yeah, you and I were having a private conversation. What's that sound like to you, Vice Chair?
We're saying, because I think there's a lot of vacancies, right?
Yes.
So if someone comes on, they can also move into another at-large or another vacant seat that becomes at-large. But I just want to keep the opportunity open for anyone within the sub-district that becomes available, like halfway through the term, like the next following July, that they would have the then that at-large member can continue on for the next year.
I would just say leave it until the next election, because if you decide to serve, sorry, I'm pointing at you, but if you decide to serve and she's on the board and she's a member of committees and she's doing great work, and then at the end of the year, you're like, okay, out you go because somebody from the sub-district is there, she should be able to, since she volunteered, to be able to go the whole way. That's my thought.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sounds good. Right.
So what we're saying is that someone from another district can become an at-large member and cover District 2 or whatever.
Correct.
Okay, as opposed to the existing at-large members just covering the vacant.
Correct.
Okay.
Chelsea is saying we can ask the commission to terminate. That's what we are saying is make it at large and then until the next cycle. Yes. That's what we're asking. Can you make that happen?
Actually, the
Okay.
commission already apprised us when he came to speak.
Yeah, but I think we have to formally
formalize
decide,
it.
we have to
Got it.
formalize it. Okay. I'll, based on what we just talked about here, I'll formalize it into a letter, send it to Chelsea, and hopefully we can do that. Then we have to go out and beat the bushes and get people to to get people to join. Okay.
That was my query, Chair.
What's,
Sorry.
I'm sorry?
That was my query. How does the board, whether it be local or the commission, go out into the community to beat those bushes to get the people to get involved? This is an issue, I think, island-wide. I know it is with Kahalu.
Yeah, I think we would as a board just take a walk through the community, or we can get elected officials who are walking the community, who knock on doors to get people to come to the board. Hey, what's up, Mike?
So when you asked about the meetings earlier, like I'm 47. I was in the Navy deployed most of the time. I don't know nothing about board stuff. I didn't even know it existed. I started going to meetings, every meeting I heard of. So would you like me to be on the board?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
So you know, when you asked, when you said it earlier, I was like, I went to every meeting that I found out about.
Well, what do
I
you
just didn't know about this one.
as somebody who's considering that now, what do you think? Is this something that you'd like to do?
Well, I mean, I need to find out more about it, so I'd like to talk afterwards. But
Okay.
I have been going to meetings since that first one when I met Rick Blangiardi over the incident with the guy that was chasing my neighbors.
Yeah.
So I live
You know,
in Kaneohe though.
Yeah,
so
he
I don't-
lives on Paleka. That's your sub-district.
Yeah.
So if we turn one of these other ones into an at-large, you're in.
Yes, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. If you-
No, it's, and that's the
Watch
whole
out.
point, is to get people in the community involved. And Marie, for your question is, the Kaneohe Neighborhood Board would go out and beat the bushes. It's not up to the Neighborhood Commission Office to take care of our district and our sub-district. At least that's my opinion. I think we are better suited to talk to people in our community.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Okay.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
excuse
you.
me 1 second, if I may. When I spoke to Midweek, I asked questions like this, if they would be willing to do an interview of issues that we have, this being one of them.
Mhm.
So I think that is another conduit we can look at.
Okay. I'm not scared.
Chair, adding on the discussion, I think we've had a couple of times when we had 3 or 4 people that asked to join the board, and they found out their sub-districts already covered. And so if we have 4 sub-districts that are vacant, this gives an opportunity to join the board for the remainder of the term to fill these sub-districts as an at-large member.
If I can get this letter to the NCO right away, we can have this hopefully on our next agenda. And instead of listing those sub-districts, we could list the sub-district in case somebody does show up, and in parentheses, list at large. And that way, if anybody else wants to join in, they can. Okay, good. I love solutions. Clarification of district boundaries and name titles. I just found online the thing that I needed, and I think I'd like to sit with the board and go over what the name titles are, the plain language. You know, we got Pohaku, we got Kapunahala. I just want to make sure that what you see on that district boundary in the maps match up with what the sub-districts are actually called. Mostly, because I know people have their own preferences for their sub-districts. That's separate. I will send 2 maps out to you with the names that are on them. Candidate forum. We talked about having a candidate forum, so now we get a chance to discuss. This is the candidate forum for the general election, which is in November. When and where and what format would you like? Discussion open. Laura.
When we had the candidate forum in the past, I think that it worked, that form. I think we came up with the questions, put it in a bowl, and then they just drew. And we invited, every candidate who would fit our district.
Do you recall if we informed I think we informed the candidates what the questions were, but they didn't know which one was going to come out of
Yeah.
the hat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did, in order to kind of save time too.
And help.
So that they would be prepped.
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would like to see that.
Do you still have the rules for that one?
format. I might, I'll go look.
You look,
Pretty
I'll look
soon.
too, and then we'll send that around to the board. That was a good format. It went really well.
Okay, so I'm thinking September because October is
Sure.
already too close to the general. So would that be in lieu of our meeting or on top of our regular board meeting? I can't remember what we did.
In
Separate.
lieu of.
In lieu of? Okay.
Yeah, so we had our regular meeting and the candidate forum.
Okay, so we just have to pick, which week we would have to do it and then where.
What,
Can we do it here?
what would be a good day of the week to do something like that? And this is a question for everybody here, not just the board. What would be a good day of the week to do a candidate forum? And what time? Thursday night at
I
7?
think we had it on a Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you say,
Sakamoto motions.
why do you say earlier?
I think 6:30 works. I mean, our board meetings are at 6:30. 6 is a little bit early, I feel like.
People getting home
And
from
then-
work or
Right. Mm-hmm.
if they're campaigning, this should be part of the plan.
So
I'm sorry, Mo. The other question was budget.
Yes.
If we do it, how much would it cost? And we weren't sure, are we supposed to reach out to Windward Community College or does the commission do that?
I think we formalize what we're going to do, send it to NCO and also send it to Artis. So she can send it to the proper folks and they can assign a place that we might be able to fit. I think there was already feedback that said they would do it. We do the research. Okay. So we'll do the research, get in touch with Artis to see if it's possible, then send that to NCO so they can bless it and make it happen. One of the other things was Olelo, to have it broadcast. The last time we did it on Facebook, Facebook Live. Right, but we didn't have the ability to have it stay uploaded someplace like Olelo. Can we record something on Facebook Live and give it to Olelo to post? Oh, got it.
You have the recording, you could always submit it to Lelo, but they have to program it. You can ask to have it scheduled in, put these scheduled requests in earlier so they can have it like a week before they air it.
Can somebody, there's some stuff, there's a lot of taskers in this. We're going to look for the format, you and I. Did we decide on the date?
no, we're looking. Oh, that's right.
I'll send a note to Artis. So that's a Mo thing.
To give us some dates.
Okay.
And we would prefer a Thursday evening, 6:30.
Okay. Thursday.
You're looking at October. I think we're looking.
Can
target-
somebody check with Olelo and find out whether or not, what the procedure is to have something posted and what format that they'll take it? Because I don't know if Facebook Live is recordable, one, and transferable to Olelo. Maybe it has to be just recorded. Can somebody who wants to check that?
Adriel will do that.
Adriel will do that. Okay. I think we're tracking.
Question.
Yes.
Sakamoto, regarding the candidates, we have like OHA on top there too. People running for Hawaii.
Good question.
Because I don't know who to vote.
Maybe we should just generate the list of possibilities and then see. Well, if it's not a neighborhood board night, we're not restricted to time. And if we can give folks, this is going to be the OHA time slot. That way folks aren't sitting here all day waiting for, I'm talking about the candidates, but the folks that are there listening. We got to keep it dynamic for people too, because it can get boring for people just having to sit. You haven't said anything. What do you think?
No, I think, yeah, there should be a time limit and structure.
What is your recommendation? 2-minute intro, sorry.
I
2-minute intro.
let's
and
get the
3-minute
names
question.
first. Let's find out how many folks there is first. Who can do that? The names of the folks that are running in the districts that affect Kaneohe.
I can get the candidates. So once we pass the primary, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, dates after we get with artists. Moving on to board committees.
I'm sorry, Chair, regarding that. Okay, I had.
Regarding what?
The candidate forum, is there, what candidate, you were just talking about local candidates or you're talking about national as well?
Don't know yet.
Okay, so to your committee on that, another query then would be, what would be the possibility of your coordinating with our, at least allow, POCO boards about doing one forum. These candidates are kind of busy. And I think especially our national is exceptionally important this year. No offense to our local officials who are involved, but to your committee on that, if you'd please consider like trying to coordinate one.
There's
They-
two things that you're asking. You're asking if we're
Yeah.
going to combine with two other boards, Kailua and Kahalu, or maybe even
Yeah.
North Shore. And you're also asking if we're going to include federal level folks.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, Murray?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, we can answer that once we see what the numbers of folks
Yes.
are.
Cool. Mahalo. Thank you.
Thanks. Let's see. Are we okay, everyone? To move on to board committees and chairs? Okay, board committees and chairpersons, we have a variety of committees on the neighborhood board. Presently, community engagement, emergency preparedness, education, which is vacant, transportation, military affairs, haiku stairs, vacant, state legislative, vacant, environmental, vacant, HPD liaison has got some folks, planning, and homeless Kauhale all have folks in it. Would those folks that are serving on those committees still like to serve on those committees?
Yes.
Yes.
Sakamoto, yes.
Roger. Saw a thumbs up going out the door. That was Dale.
Burbidge, yes, and homeless committee.
Good. But we do have some vacancies. Education, haiku stairs, state legislature, environmental. If you're interested in serving on one of those committees, that's great. 4 committees for the folks that are listening and the folks here. What we'll do is we'll take for example, education committee and somebody involved in talking with the principals or talking with the Department of Education or whatever level that they feel that their issue is going to be resolved or discussed. They can also, as a committee chair, get folks from the community involved if you have a passion for that thing. And I think when it's just a committee of board members, that's great. But also if you can get people in the community involved that have expertise and a passion for a thing. I know Kailua has a lot of folks involved in permitting and planning because they have a lot of folks that have retired from permitting and planning. So they know the ins and outs. And that would be something that if you're a community member and have a passion, definitely jump in one of those committees. A board member has to chair the committee.
Chair.
Yes.
I'll do haiku stairs, but I recommend that to amend that to haiku valley and stairs. I think there's a lot of different activities going on besides the stairs in the valley, and I like to be able to kind of bring that all together.
Stairs. I like that. That's good. And there's a lot of issues that have to do with the valley and that 1,000 acres of Mauna Willie land as well. Okay. Thanks. Adriel is now the chair of the
Sakamoto.
Yes, Sakamoto.
Yeah, I'd like to join Adria with that committee as a board member to assist him. Yeah.
Sakamoto. What's that? Elena?
Yes, I'd be happy to serve on the environmental committee. And then I just wanted to make a suggestion. Um, I believe in the past we had a Kaneohe Bay Regional Council committee. I think we should add one because there's a designated seat on the council for a neighborhood board, for the Kaneohe Neighborhood Board
I don't know
representatives.
why. I don't know why that fell off, Yelena. That was always one of the first things on the committees was Kaneohe Bay Regional Council. So I'll just
Yeah.
add that back in.
Awesome. And then, yeah, I'm currently the neighborhood board representative on the council. So happy to continue doing that. I believe my term is for a few more years.
Yep, beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else? Awesome. Board member Burbidge, I put down Serene report. That was the wrong thing to put. It was she hosted what was the macro? She hosted a macro event. We had a brief last month, and they took it to the next level. So, would you like to brief out on what you guys talked about?
So it's called Community Conversations, and anybody can get a little meeting together. They want small groups, like from 5 to 10 people. So I just hosted it in my home because it was just easier to hear one another talking, and it was a more cozy environment. Randy Jung was the one who came last month, and she was the one who came to my home. And she really communicates quickly and well. So that's one thing if you're trying to get a meeting together, she will respond quickly. So she came and had a couple guiding questions for us. They're a bit long, but these were the takeaways from the evening. So we had quite a few people who were, well, like Dale, who has experience in the hotel industry. One of our good friends was he ran the Navy side of the base. What is his title, Gary? The whole Navy at one time. So we had quite a bit of experience, and he worked for HECO. So he had a combination of things that he could really address. But anyway, we came away with a greater understanding of the military's role, which is needed. Participants shared the public conversations frequently focus on economic impacts while, overlooking Hawaii's strategic importance, national security responsibilities, humanitarian assistance capabilities, disaster response, so on. Community resilience is a shared responsibility. We discussed numerous examples of how military capabilities support Hawaii, especially during emergencies, including wildfire response, emergency sheltering, logistics, infrastructure resilience, and a few other things. Awareness could improve public understanding of the military's role within the community. And that was something that I felt like was important. A lot of times the military is doing good things kind of in the background, and we sort of don't hear about it until something goes bad. And it's like, oh, is that all we know about the military? No, there's been so many good things that they've done that has not been communicated to us openly. So we felt like better communication was needed. Community benefits should accompany continued military training. The members emphasized that few and beyond lease agreements by creating lasting benefits for neighboring communities. And I thought that was a really, really good idea. So including help with infrastructure improvements, workforce development, and why can't the people say, for example, the Red Hill disaster, why were so many people brought in from the mainland rather than tapping the pool of workers that we have here in Hawaii? So using more of the local workforce. And then environmental stewardship remains a priority. So cleaning up after, the use of the land and measurable cleanup standards, accountability for returning lands in an appropriate condition once the military use concludes. So overall, it was a very, very good meeting. And I would encourage you to just give her a call if you want. I can give you her information. It was a good talk story time. Thanks. Oh, and I thought these meetings were going to stop after August because there was some kind of a deadline, but it's going to continue. So this office that they've started called Macro Military and Community Relations Office will continue to be open and communicating with the Ohana people. So thank you.
Mahalo for that report. Last thing on the agenda is the letter from the board. This board has already drafted a resolution in opposition to aquarium fishing, and we wanted to there are two bills that we heard about earlier, 159 and 160, that we wanted to make sure that the folks that are doing the DLNR and aquatic resources know the board's position without having to resubmit another resolution. So basically, the resolution that we are already approved is under the cover of a letter, just restating the board's position. And Yelena drafted a letter, and I want the board's approval to be able to forward that letter as a board letter to the DLNR. And I will send that letter to you as an administrative function. I mean, we've already done a resolution. We're not doing anything more than that. Just basically putting the resolution forward. So I guess what I'm asking the board is it okay to do that? Sure.
Sakamoto motions to do what you said, Chair.
That's on record. I'm gonna take that recording and play it to my wife. And it's been seconded.
Second.
All in favor of doing what Mo says? No. All in favor of putting our resolution under a cover letter to DLNR, supporting what our original stance was.
Aye.
Any oppositions or abstentions? You guys rock. Okay, that pretty much summarizes this meeting. We got right to the 2-hour mark with three minutes over.
Sorry, I just have one quick comment, and it's very positive. Kaneohe Bay, the coral is growing very nicely. We went out there and we're surfing, and there's coral in so many places. Yay!
Oh, sorry, we have. I've just been reminded we're missing a committee report. So, can we have a committee report? I think it's going to be emergency preparedness. Can you do it? Okay, off you go.
Hi there. A couple of things to say in conjunction with the resolution passed by the board last May. It's interesting to note that 2 articles in Civil Beat over the past week noted that significant funds have been spent by the city and county of Honolulu to do research engineering studies, actually, in flood-prone areas. The studies were done, 450,000 most recently, and then nothing was actually done with those studies. And that's precisely the kind of action that we asked about in the resolution. So I took that and wrote a letter to all of our legislators emphasizing the importance of doing these kinds of studies, but not letting the activities fall through the cracks. I mean, some are very expensive. The one on the west, is like $21 million, but some things can be done for a whole lot less money. We need to take the next step and actually raise the priority list. Like some of these things are pretty important. Things flood all the time. We need to take extra measures. So that's the first thing. Second thing, this past week, Dale and I had the opportunity to take a class down. Actually, it was a FEMA class on Monday. And it was interesting to note, yes, it was community planning for disaster recovery, a rather lengthy and extensive class, 10 hours. And I, aside from all of what we sucked up, okay, it was a lot of information. It was a great networking event. A lot of people from HIEMA, State Emergency Planning, were there. County representatives from Hawaii County and Kauai County were also there, planners and people concerned with emergency preparedness. It was, and a lot of other very cool people to spend your time with. It was interesting to note that there was no one from our county's DEM, Department of Emergency Management, no one in attendance. Well, that was worth noting. It was a good class, but no one from our county happened to be there. The last thing, and I'll cut this short, I think that this past week, DEM, Department of Emergency Management, submitted their after action report for the tsunami that never was, thank goodness. They have been remiss actually, because the city council wanted them to submit this like 9 months ago, blah, blah, blah. They didn't do it. They finally submitted it July 10th, the letter to the city council was dated. And in reading it, we found that it was inadequate. I testified before the city council 9 months ago about this, the tsunami, and in reading the 18-page report, I found it rather inadequate. Out of that, Mo and I have developed a letter that we would like to send to Dr. Collins, who's the head of DEM. And I guess that's going to take a vote by the board as well. Mo, am I correct? Okay, so for review, anyway, it's not on the agenda, so we can't vote on it, but that's forthcoming. I guess that's all. I'm going to let it go for there. That's it.
Sure.
I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you.
Transportation.
The board members, you will see this letter and you'll see the 18-page report. It's pretty easy to dissect, but there are some definite issues. And, Mike said something about being in the Navy. One of the things that the Navy does is that if there's a flood on a ship, they know how to fix it because they practice that. It's not wait until the flood and then say, okay, let's have some training on what's happening here. They know what to do. And that's what we need to be able to do in a community that's isolated from all of the other stuff, which is on the other side of the mountain. So we need to be self-sufficient, and we need to either have the government be involved with us or not.
Yeah,
And I think right now it's kind of not. So we need to step it up a little bit. So Neil, thank you. And Dale, thank you for going to those meetings and bringing that information back.
And then, Chair, just one more thing, please, if I may. On July 15th, in the Honolulu Star Advertiser was an editorial that was written by Neil addressing active preparedness for island-wide emergencies. And we're already starting to see feedback on that. And we'll share some more information at the next meeting on that. But the whole key for what we're trying to do with Donald and everyone else is to really just bring awareness to the community so that the community has a voice and an understanding of what they can do and the involvement. I think there's a lot of question as we go into the community that there is not the security of knowing that the city and county and the state will take care of them in an emergency. And interesting, the first statement that FEMA makes in their training is they're here to support the city and the state. They do not do it. It is the responsibility of the city and the state to take care of its community. So
thank you. And then when it comes down to it, it's the responsibility of us to take care of us in the community. Okay. Donald, you're just going to add to this?
I just got a transportation report update.
Is it
Excuse me, Donald, Chair, I had asked to tag on to this report.
to the emergency preparedness?
Yes,
Are you going to announce an event coming up?
yes.
What is it? And
Uh,
when is it?
One is on the 29th of this month that would entertain your committee. We have, this is the Cross Island Community Emergency Response Network, has specifically invited HIEMA and DEM, and specifically with DEM, Jeff Spencer, regarding coordination of their development and coordination of community training and preparedness plus teen and young adult program development, plus the same programs for Kapuna and the disabled. You like this, Neil? You like this? Okay. So that's the one thing coming up on the 29th. So it's really good, and I really did appreciate your article that was in today's paper. The emphasis on community preparedness and response is it's paramount. You know that. You understand that.
Marie, do you have any other events
Yes,
to
I have
announce?
another one there is another one. Sorry about this. There is a Kapuna test project, Kapuna preparedness test program coming up on the 28th of this month at the Kaimuki Library. This is put on by a city agency called the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program that is geared towards your seniors and retirees regarding what we're talking about. Okay. And that I know Adise has a lot on her bucket list, but we are also, KK Cert is also going to be at the Paniolo program in August. So there's a lot going on.
Awesome,
and-
Marie. I'm going to have to cut you short. We're
Yeah, I know. Okay,
we're
mahalo.
15 minutes beyond our normal time. So I
Yeah.
want to thank you
Okay,
for
mahalo.
providing that information. And Donald had a transportation report. He's going to
Defer.
defer to our next meeting. Thank you very much. At this point, our next meeting is going to be August 20th here at Windward Community College, Haleakaloha, where we are right now. And hopefully it's either here or in the other room if the traffic, it looks like the paving is done. So this meeting is adjourned.
Sorry, Donald.